I was a provider. Mum kept the
Yep.
home, but mum also worked full time.
Ah.
My dad was a first, well, came over in the Windrush generation, first
Yeah.
generation Windrush. And yeah, most typical households, dad would be go to work and in the weekends, cricket, doing what he was doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have very fond memories of cricket as a young boy going on a big red bus. We used to get a double decker bus, and we used to all the families, and that was
Yeah.
fun. But yeah, that was pretty much my childhood. But my dad's relationship and mine
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was kind
That's
of
nice.
distant. You know what I mean? My dad was a bit sort of standoffish.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
standoffish per se, but just wasn't in the home as much as
Ah.
I am currently. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
my mum raised me really, bro.
Bro,
Yeah.
see when you said they wasn't in the home, are you talking about that he went out to work and they
Yeah.
came back?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it was like from that typical dad goes out to work, mum stays at home,
No, both both
take
my
the
parents
kids.
work. Yeah, both my
Okay,
parents work.
okay.
So I did a bit of play centre after school, and then we relied on
Ah,
neighbours and
yeah.
family members to look after. Because both my mum worked 9 to 5. You know what I
Ah,
mean? So I spent a lot of time at my I call her my Earth mum now, Sue,
yeah,
one of my neighbours. So he's basically my best or oldest friend, shall I say, and he's like my brother now, Scott Casey.
yeah,
White English lad. A funny story is when I was 3, we moved to our new house, and
yeah.
basically I was in the window. My mum tells it. I used to tell this story often. And she's like, up there in my nappies and whatnot. I was like, "Hey, you white boy, come here." My mum's like, "Adrian, you can't say that. You can't." But Scott came over, and we've been like brothers ever since. So it's funny because currently now. I'm staying when I come back to London. I stay with his mum,
Ah,
So yeah, no, but yeah, no, we depended on childcare from neighbours and stuff like that. But then my mum would come home, pick us up, and then we'd be at home with my parents. You know what I mean? So I think that
yeah,
was very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like the custom. It was normal back then, especially with both parents
yeah.
working. With both parents working.
Bro, that's actually quite rare, because that's not a common thing from back in the day. It's usually the dad will go out to work and then the mum just takes care of the family unit. And yeah, okay,
But
cool.
yeah, but mum,
Yeah,
mum,
but
mum, bless her soul. She
yeah,
she worked really hard, but she kept the home as well.
yeah,
She was an absolute trooper. And I'm speaking, unfortunately, in the past tense because I lost my mum in 2017, same year as Grenfell, unfortunately. So yeah, R.I.P. Mummy. Love you lots.
yeah, of course, bro. And like, see, when you lost mum, I mean, okay, I'm going a bit
You're
too
jumping a
too
bit,
far
yeah.
forward. Yeah, yeah, bro. Okay, so growing up with dad, what was he like? So in terms of like you trying.
Disconnected. What's happened there? I don't know if that was you or me. I come back to the UK. That doesn't really around. You're lucky. I should have. Mm. Yo.
Yeah, bro, we
Was
just
that
cut
you?
out there.
Was that you? Was
Yeah.
that you or me? I don't know what happened
Bro,
there.
I don't even know. Same here as well, bro. Same here. No, 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 it's cool. We were saying about Pop. So mum was at work, and then dad. So he was
Dad,
also at work as well, and that. And then
dad
yeah,
was at work as well. Yeah, dad was at work as well. But like,
okay.
West Indian men, they never really took that much of an active role as we do with our
Ah,
kids. You know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah,
They was more of a provider.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was there, yeah, but dad was doing his thing, kind of like. You know what I
Of
mean?
course, of
So
course, of course.
where we grew up and that, there was a lot of kids in our on our estate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So I spent a lot of time outside and whatnot, and my dad was just doing his thing. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't until I got a little bit older,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that our relationship kind of started to form. But in my formative
Ah,
years, my
yeah,
dad was more of a figure that was there, present, but it
yeah.
was my mum that kept the home. You know what I mean?
Okay,
And my
okay.
mum kept the home and raised me.
Yeah. And, and and then, bro, from the time he was present, what age was that from? Like,
Well, no, he's always been present. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But our relationship, yeah. Um, my dad was like he was the disciplinarian, and he
yeah, yeah,
kept that side in check. So I grew up with a little bit of fear of my dad, but that's how he kept me on the straight and narrow, as he would say. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But how I parent my son is completely different. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah, yeah,
completely
yeah, yeah.
different.
No, no, we're gonna get into that as well, bro. Okay, cool. So fast forward now. So fast forwarding from your teenage years, what was that like? Transitioning to early teenage years to manhood, bro.
So early teenage years,
Yeah,
I was basically obviously we went Compton.
yeah,
So
yeah,
early teenage years, we went to Henry Compton School in Fulham,
yeah.
and for me, like being a life coach now, I think that was my best experience of life. Because the
Okay.
school was so diverse. We had a
Yeah, yeah,
lot of different characters in there,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
if you
Absolutely.
could navigate life through our school, yeah,
Yeah,
you can navigate life because we experienced a little bit of everything. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
my teenage years were happy years, to be fair.
yeah,
Obviously I was a keen footballer, very good footballer,
yeah,
and that was the majority of my friendship base. I played football with some of the best footballers in London at the time, bigging up the West London gang.
yeah, yeah.
Unbeaten in 5 years of secondary school, playing against the likes of Rio Ferdinand, and he never touched us once. So yeah, my formative years, I spent a lot of the time in Brunswick Boys Club as a teenager. Big up Danny Vellino, my mentor.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, it was just playing football, being at the club,
yeah,
the youth club, and just being a regular teenager. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
The transition to manhood,
yeah, bro.
um, yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
Let me just put myself on mute. Sorry about this.
No, that's fine, brother. That's all right. That's cool.
Right. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
my transition, yeah, it was good because of my mentor, because of Danny at Brunswick. I had a great guide, someone that I could always talk to, and he basically showed me
yeah.
how to conduct myself as a young man. Do you know what I mean?
Wow. Okay.
100%.
Reason why that stood out for me, bro, is because I was expecting that from the father, like to
Yeah.
step in and show the ways. But in saying that, there's nothing wrong with also having other role models as well, bro. It's healthy, actually,
Don't
bro.
get me wrong. My dad was
Yeah.
there, and my dad played a active part in that by leading by example and showing me how to provide. I mean, for his
Okay.
family. But when it came to a lot of the stuff that I would be transitioning through as a young man, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
girls and like just stuff on the
Yeah.
road,
Yeah.
and that my dad was more of a thing where he was just like, don't get involved with certain people. He kept me
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
from certain. I wasn't allowed in certain estates and stuff like that. But I was never really shown why. And as I
Oh.
got older, and when I went to Compton and I started mixing with some of the bad breeds and whatnot,
Yeah.
my transition was slightly different because obviously as a young man you're going to ask questions and push boundaries,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the
Of course.
correction, of that, without the disciplinarian side, the education came from Danny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to go
Definitely.
hand in hand. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get that.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
bro.
said, you take
Yeah,
influence from people that are important to you in your life. And obviously
yeah,
my father is very important, but also as my mentor and someone that I really respect as well is Danny, because I spent probably 4 evenings a week at the youth club, you know. So and
bro.
then every
Can I ask something about that? Was Danny more of a father figure, or was he like a big brother figure?
he was more of a big brother figure, to be fair.
Okay.
Obviously I have a father,
Yeah, yeah,
but his influence was outstanding. I mean, he's raised half of Fulham. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah,
He's still there to this day.
yeah,
He's still highly invested in the club and the kids.
yeah, yeah,
And to be fair, he is one of the biggest inspirations in my life. You know, he's a great guy, and he definitely is someone that how I operate as a life coach, those lessons I definitely took from Danny, 100%.
Wow. And then, bro, so you, from the era of football and you transitioning from early manhood, when did you get your first child, bro? Like your first boy, right? Or was it your
And
first girl?
my daughter was first.
Oh, your
So
daughter. Sorry, my
yeah,
bad, bro. My bad. Yeah.
my,
Oh,
my
okay. So, at what age did you have your
So I
first
was
daughter?
27 when Imani was born. She was born in 2005.
Ah, 27. Okay, okay.
And yeah, that was the day my life changed, you know, and
Yeah.
instantly fell in love with my child, you know. Yeah, I've never experienced, other than the bath of birth of my son, but
Yeah.
that love for your daughter, I mean, you know what it's like with dads and their
Yeah.
girls, you
I
know.
know. I know. Yeah.
And yeah, that's when I became a dad. And
Yeah.
that's when my life was no longer my own. You know, that's when I was in the fire service for about 4 years at that point, and
Yeah.
the wages I was being paid at the time, I knew was not going to support the lifestyle that I wanted to give
Yeah.
to my family. So that's when I went out and started the Knowledge of London.
Yeah.
I finished that in 2011, and then we moved to Surrey shortly after that. But yeah, that my daughter being born was the catalyst for me actually growing up. You know what I mean? I became a
Wow.
man.
Yeah.
I became a man then because my
Yeah.
responsibilities, and that's when my father's influence kicked in, because I knew then that I had to go out
Interesting.
and support
Interesting.
my
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But
Yeah.
how I communicated and raised my kids, I was more present in the home than my dad was. Do you see what I'm saying?
Bro, what kind of things did you do? Give me some examples of like you mentioned presence. Like, what did that look like?
Just hands on, mate. From the
Hands
day
on,
my
yeah,
daughter was born,
yeah,
I was with her all the time. I used to
okay,
have her. I was still working for 4 on 4 off. So as a firefighter, you work 2 day shifts and 2 nights.
yeah,
So one of my cousins used to look after her in between my night shifts.
yeah,
Then I would pick her up during the day and have her when I should be resting. I would have my daughter, and on
yeah,
days my mum used to drop her to my cousins.
yeah,
Look after, because my partner at the time, my ex-wife, was at work.
yeah,
Um, so basically, the care surrounding Imani, on my 4 days off, I would have her. On my 4 days on, she would be down in Fulham with me, going to my cousin's house. And
yeah.
then I'd have her in between my nights. And then on my 4 days off, I'd take her back home. So our bond
Wow.
is, yeah, our bond was instantaneous, you know? It really was. It really, really was.
Bro, how did you like what sort of things did you do to like bring a life into her, to give her that confidence as a woman? Did that look like having conversations with her?
All
Was
the
that through
time.
activities?
All the time,
Ah, okay.
conversations,
Yeah.
and just basically exposing her to certain things. The confidence and the information I would give her, you know, the empowerment. That's the word I use. I empower
Okay.
both of my kids. As a life coach, that is what my niche is confidence and empowerment, because you need to believe in yourself before anybody
Yes.
else does, you know, and that's the bottom line. You need to believe that your light has the right to shine as much as we've all got a divine light in us, but what we do is suppress it. And what I showed my kids is to be authentic
Yeah.
and never be afraid to let your light shine. And they're both doing fantastically well at this moment in time. Unfortunately, I'm estranged from my daughter at the minute.
Okay.
we're actually not on great terms at the minute, but
Yeah.
that's part of life, unfortunately.
Yeah. How you
We
navigating that, bro? Like how you
it's tough, bro.
dealing
I
with that?
can't.
Like what?
It's hard. It's really hard, and I put a brave face on it. But bro, I'm heartbroken, man, because
Yeah.
if anybody told me before this happened that this would be the reality of me and my daughter,
Yeah.
there would have been. Bruv, I was throwing hands because our
Yeah.
bond is crazy. But there's a lot of elements to it. Um, I am at fault partly because I lost my temper.
Yeah.
But the reasons for that, yeah, is what the issue is, because I will take full accountability. You know me, yeah. If
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
messed
Yeah.
up, my hands go up, and I'm like, but what she's trying to do now is
Yeah.
rehash her whole childhood. And she's angry at the minute. And she's probably not going to like me sitting here talking about this, but
Yeah.
it's the truth, you know? And
Bro, see, there's so many questions that are popping off my head about that, bro, and I understand about privacy and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
what I was gonna say is, how did it even escalate from being so tight to just going the opposite way? And that,
I think, yeah, it's outside influences.
okay,
There's that. Um, Unfortunately, when my mum passed, that took me to a, like, that woman was the matriarch to our family, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And
of course,
I did everything I could. She passed from cancer, unfortunately, and it came back a second time after she had it in 2011,
yeah,
breast cancer. And my whole world changed. Basically, it was the same year as Grenfell that I lost my mum. Grenfell was in June, my mum died in October, and the one person I needed to get me through that period, I lost
yeah,
3 months after I went through Grenfell. And to lose that, my mum, my person, my queen,
yeah,
I had to be strong though, because she was like a mother to my children as well, you know?
yeah,
And I remember my daughter at her funeral and the strength that she showed to sing at the church and to help cover her over, you know, it's at the cemetery. And our bond through that afterwards, I had to be strong for her, you know, but we shared a mutual grief, you know, and I think that trying to be, because me and my ex-wife were separated at the time, prior, like the year, like that year, the end of 2016, really, I called it a day because I couldn't deal with the situation anymore. It was a toxic relationship and it was harming the kids, and I had to go. And that was one of the hardest decisions of my life. But to go through that level of grief and still have to be there to protect your children, the emotional burden on me was crazy. And I was going through a divorce at the time, and it was a messy divorce. And yeah, it was definitely the most difficult period of my life, you know. So I think there was a lot of pressure and strain. My daughter was living it with me solely from 2020. We eventually divorced until 2024. And I was the primary carer of my daughter. She wanted to live with me. And it was difficult because obviously she's going through what she's going through as a teenager.
yeah,
And I'm also going through what I'm going through post trauma of Grenfell. I was
wow,
I was diagnosed with severe untreated PTSD post Grenfell, and obviously my mum passed in as well. So literally in
that's a lot,
2019,
yeah,
I had a I had a breakdown in 2019, and I was at the lowest point that I ever was. I was very light. You know, I posted that video the other day
yeah.
because
I
that
want
was
to
a
touch
trigger.
on that, bro.
That was a
Yeah,
trigger for me. That was a trigger for me because when I was deep in, I was literally fighting for my life. I was lighter than I was in that picture, bro. Like literally, I was so light. I had insomnia, and I didn't realize that I had insomnia for about 6 months prior to me getting any help because I didn't realize what it was. And insomnia is a very, very closely related to depression. I was in a deep,
That's
deep,
mad.
deep,
Yeah,
deep
yeah,
depression, and I didn't even realize. And I'm still
yeah,
here trying to keep my kids' heads above water. You know,
yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
struggling. My family, my dad, my sister, my nieces, my nephews, and everybody normally looks to me, and I didn't have it in the tank. And
Yeah.
eventually I broke, you know, and to have a breakdown like that, but still have responsibilities is was hard, you know. So I'm trying to heal, but I've got to keep everybody else's head above water as well. So
Bro, do you know what, sorry, bro, I'm just gonna
that's all right.
um interject there. Do you know what is so fascinating? What you said. There was a brother I was talking to, actually, another brother, and his dad passed away. And him and his dad was really, really close. And what happened is this: he went to deep depression, dark times, and stuff. And then I asked him, "What did you do to just keep going?" And do you know what he told me? He goes, "Bro, I couldn't be selfish in my emotions, like about me. What kept me going was my responsibilities, bro. I was in charge of managing this. I was in charge of taking care of my mom, my family, and that. And I thought I felt the pain. I rested with it, but I couldn't stay there for a long period because people were depending on me. So because of that role, kept him going. But then the side effects of that is from time to time you get those voices, bro, that catches up. You know, it's
All right.
like,
Well,
yeah, yeah, and it's a continual battle, bro. And what he done is he'd always used distractions to stop him from those thoughts kicking in, and then I asked him, okay, what do you think that you need? And then he goes, Mabs, you need to find something that you enjoy doing. So there's a difference between a distraction and something you enjoy doing, bro. Because the enjoyment, what you do, is that's a part of your identity. So, for example, football is your identity. That's who you are. That's what you like doing, and that's like therapy.
yeah,
So that's a part of your identity. That's who Adrian
yeah,
is.
yeah, me,
But
yeah,
if
me.
it
Go on. Yeah, go
but
on.
if it was
Finish.
like, yeah, Adrian, I need you to take care of this, that. That's you just distracting yourself. Do you see what I'm trying to say, bro?
I do, I do
Just hear
totally.
the
But
differences. Yeah, go on, go on.
let me say something to you.
Go for it, bro. Go for it.
Two parts to the line, and it said
Yeah.
I once contemplated suicide and would have tried, but
Wow.
when I held that line, all I could
Yeah.
see was my mother's eyes. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm going to touch on something that I didn't know that I was going to touch on, and I've touched on it before. But I have been intrusive thoughts. Yeah, and
Wow.
there was a time in 20 before I went sick from work, before I realised how bad I was. We had a massive fire not far from my house in the Hamptons in Worcester Park,
Okay.
and prior to that fire, I hadn't slept for 4 days. Yeah, and I went back into work after a terrible night shift beforehand.
Yeah.
I'd taken 4 sleeping tablets that afternoon, did not do anything. And I was like, what the hell's that? So I went back to work. I spoke to a former associate of mine. I won't touch on that right now. And
Yeah.
he said, just get back to work. You'll be all right. Because I didn't want to go sick because I know how that would look at work and their sickness policy at the fire site. It's a joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I went back into work. We had a busy night. We got called onto this fire, and I was on the fire ground as a liability. And my governor at the time, he knew something was wrong, but didn't have the courage to interject, and he left me on the
Okay.
run. Okay, so
Yeah.
the same former associate was on this job, and with him and a couple of others, they just tucked me away because they knew I wasn't me. I usually on the fire ground, I'm running the
Yeah.
show, I'm in everything. You know what I mean? You know
Yeah.
me, I'm a leader.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
have it in me. So I got home that morning, still couldn't sleep, and I was delirious. And it was that morning that I seriously contemplated ended it because I just wanted it to stop, you know? And it wasn't until I went for therapy at Harkham House, which is the firefighters charity, afterwards, and I spoke
Yeah.
to my counsellor, and he told me, he's like, he gave me acceptance, and he made me feel like, helped me deal with the guilt of what I was contemplating, because I miss my mum so much.
Yeah.
I was at the end of my tether, and I was broken. But when we're talking about what saved me? It's my kids, my two babies. You know, I think Marnie might have been 11 and Jay 7 at the time, and I couldn't imagine life without them. You know, or putting them through that. And prior to me going through what I went through, I thought to myself sometimes that people who did that were selfish. How could you do that? But once you're in that place and you go through that, yeah, you're not gonna ever judge anybody again. And unfortunately, I lost my big bro to suicide, Wayne Brown, first black fire chief in the UK. And Brownie was just like me, yeah. And prior to me finding out that what he did, there was a newspaper article that got launched for him. And when I saw it, it was in like one of the WhatsApp groups with the boys. I phoned my brethren straight away because I had a thought, nah, and I was scared. But then I thought he didn't answer the phone, and then I did have that thought, and I went, nah, it's Brownie, bro. Brownie's never gonna do that, yeah. So I just carried on with them, talked to the man, and carried on. I was in the gym, carried on training, and then one of my other big bros, been in the fire service, retired now, Rod Vitalis. I remember I was just coming out of Tesco's, just got home, went shopping with my dad, and Rod called me. And as soon as I saw this number on my phone, I looked at it, and I knew. And as soon as I answered it, he just went, Tops. And I started crying because I knew my brethren had taken his life. Yeah? So it's a real, like, what I'm going through at the minute and the pressures that's being put on me is ridiculous.
That is a lot,
it is
bro.
ridiculous because
Bro,
these.
can I just do a quick recap? So your mum passed away, come close to what
Grenfell.
took place in Grenfell. Then what about, do you know the time when you had to go inside the building? What was that like, bro? What did you see? What like?
So we're jumping again, but it's
Yeah.
fine because this is how the story goes, bro. Like,
Yeah, bro.
There's no
This is
structure.
raw. This is
There's no. It's just
there
real
isn't,
talk,
there
innit?
isn't.
It's truth. It's truth season out here, and
Yes, that's right.
I'm a
That's
truth
right. Yeah.
seeker and a truth speaker.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to bear with me. I probably
No
won't
problem. No problem.
touch on
No
this
problem.
go too deep into it, but bro,
Generalize it. That's fine. Yeah.
pandemonium is the word I would use. I was in a war zone. Yeah, it was literally a war zone, bro. I remember pulling up to it, and I've got a video of it when we pulled up.
Yeah.
My brethren, Dan Morrison, big up Dan, my guy. We pulled up, and before we got there, that night the call came in. I was deep in my depression then. I didn't know it. Yeah, because that was June. I stopped probably about the March of 2016 was when I started not sleeping. Yeah. June, still struggling with sleep. I remember I had an app on, and it used to regulate when you go sleep. It would tell you when you because you listen to your breathing and that. And I would get up and check and I was like, oh God, I've had 2 hours sleep again. Do you know what I mean? On a night that was quiet. But the bells went down for the other machine, the ladder, because we were a 2-pump station at Tooting. They went off to Hammersmith, I believe, to cover their ground. So we didn't really pay too much. That usually happens all the time if there's a big job going on. But then maybe 10 minutes later, we got called. And then someone was looking at the sky. I was like, what? So we had to come straight down. But when we saw the teleprinter, it was just literally machine, message after message. So we knew something was up, something big is happening. So I'm from West London, right? I live a stone's throw away from Ladbroke Grove. And Ladbroke Grove, to me, is sacred because it is Mecca for West Indians. Obviously, we've got the Notting Hill Carnival there. But prior to that, the oppression and racism that my parents suffered in the 60s and 70s, late 60s, yeah. Everyone will remember, well, not everyone will remember, but those times there, getting accommodation, there was signs in the windows saying, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish, yeah. So even getting accommodation was hard for these people that came from paradise, should I say, and was hoodwinked into coming into the UK to rebuild the country, and was treated and was welcomed with that, you know? So my dad and my mum suffered disgusting levels of racism. I mean, I even remember it as a kid in the 80s. You had DNF and stuff,
Yeah.
and that sort of stuff that we had to go through. But my dad grew up fighting. He grew up fighting. He came to this country at 15. He then sent for 3 of his brothers to come over and started working at 15, you know? But my dad regularly used to fight with the police, the teddy boys, the skinheads. So Ladbroke Grove, I've got to tell you this quick story about my dad, actually. He, one night, they were being violated by the police, scuffle broke out, and a police must have taken a dig or something, and they scarpered. This was before the Westway, the motorway was built. Now, they spent a night, you know, in the big pillars?
Yeah.
They hid in one of them, probably about 3 or 4 of them. Had the dogs looking for them, everything. And he heard one of the sergeants say, if we find one of them, one of those black bastards is going to die tonight. Yeah? So that's the relationship that I have with Ladbroke Grove. Now, as I grew up, I was going to carnival from a very young age because my mum and dad were getting carnival. That means there was no babysitter. I was getting carnival. You know what I mean? So Ladbroke Grove, and especially as I've got older, a lot of my family still live in the area. White City is basically where my family are from. So we're from Shepherd's Bush, and that's a stone's throw away. So these are my people, bro. Yeah. That's my affiliation with that area. So when we're heading down to Grenfell now, bro, listen, I'm gonna tell you this now. I'll probably get some comments afterwards, but I was, because I've resigned now, unfortunately, the baddest driver in the London Fire Brigade. And the way I whipped that truck down to Grenfell, bro, my brethren Dan Morrison said to me, I think when we hit Earls Court, Warwick Road at that time, he goes, Tops, I know you know what you're doing, but if you've been this, and crash, there is nobody coming to cut us out. I was like, don't worry, I got this. But anyway, we hit the Shepherd's Bush roundabout. And literally, I must have come off of that on 2 wheels because I'm thinking, we're hearing the radio messages now. Fire survival call, fire survival call, fire. So that means people are trapped in their building, bro.
That's intense.
That's intense. So as we whip round the roundabout now, Dan must have caught a sight of what he saw and what the pictures were that everyone's seen. And he couldn't speak. He's going, what the? I was like, Dan, what? He couldn't tell me what he saw. Yeah. Until I eventually pulled up on it. And when I pulled up on it and I looked at this, brother, it looked like a disaster movie. Yeah. Towering inferno. All right. But this.
Bro, the crazy thing is, I saw it, what was going on from the television, but you was in there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Bro, like, before I get into what was going on inside, and I'm not going to touch on it too much because I'm going to revisit it properly. And I don't want to re-traumatize people that watch this, because probably a lot of people that have been in the job because it's me will watch this. But before I tell you about what kind of stuff I saw in there, I need you for everybody to understand the makeup of real firefighters. Now, before our shift started, we was riding 6, and that's rare. 2 in the front, me driving, Dan was in charge of the pump. And I think we had Jimbo, Scotty, Ollie, and who else was on our truck? Neil, Mr. Saunders, Geordie lad. Not Geordie, Scouse lad, sorry, kill me for that. Our kid. And there was only 5 BA sets, yeah? So someone didn't have to do a set, someone didn't have to check a set. So me and my brethren Dan was bantering and changed the watch, saying, I said to him, like, you can do the set, I'm driving, I've got all the checks to do everything else. He went, nah, I'm not doing it, you're doing it. So he outranks me, fair enough, I'll do the set. So when we got there and we saw what was going on, yeah, to some people, it would have been like trying to shirk getting out, going in there. Me and Dan wanted my set, yeah? I was like, no. You ain't getting that, bro. That's my set. You didn't do it, it's mine. So we had a bit of banter about that just quickly whilst we was getting it off because he wanted to go in. Now, that is the makeup of a real London firefighter, yeah? Turning up, seeing that, and desperate to get into help, you know? So I remember walking through the people towards Grenfell, and we had people just celebrating the fact that we was there and there to help, you know? Um, and turning up on the fire ground, bro, chaos. Like people running left, right, and centre. The first person that I saw who I recognised was an old friend of mine. Known him long before the job. Come up together. I was like, Dave, walk on.
Yeah.
He was like running a casualty on a stretcher to the ambulance. He's like, I'm coming back. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
When he come back, I was like, Dave, what the fuck? He's like, Tops, we put the fire out, blood. We put it out. Like, so literally, the fire started, I think, on the 4th floor. And I've seen the pictures of the residents afterwards. Code 1, which means an hour or less in firefighting terms. Yeah.
Okay.
The fire was put out within an hour. So it was given a code 1. It would have been a code 1 job. Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a fire. They got in, knocked it out. Yeah. Everything in that flat was visible, smoke damage, rare tear. What actually happened, I believe, there was a void in the wall behind, I think it was the fridge that ignited. Now, it chased through that void and got into the cladding, yeah? So now what you've got is a situation where you have a fire on the outside of the building burning in.
Wow.
Rather
Like an
than
oven.
being...
That's the
Yeah.
oven right there, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
So rather than the inside burning out, because what they had on this insulation, which was burning, was like a steel, not steel, not having maybe aluminium or something, but something to keep the warmth in. Now, until that falls away, what we're hitting with the jets ain't doing a damn thing because you're not getting. So now you've got a fire that's protected, burning inside.
Oh my days, man.
And I think when I first turned up, there was a body on the floor. Big guy, literally must have jumped. I got speaking to a young lad that was trying to get his father-in-law down, and he didn't want to come down because he had dogs in the house. And I was telling him, look, bruv, just leave, because the stay put policy was still in at the time.
Yeah.
And the stay put policy works if the building meets regulations, yeah, because the stay put policy is to prevent mass evacuation, yeah, because if you could imagine hundreds of people trying to get down the stairs at the same point, yeah, it causes its own problems.
Yeah.
So the fire should be contained within a flat like that in those situations for at least an hour. Grenfell was renowned to be in violation of fire standards and regulations, yeah. It was a death trap. The residents knew it. They complained several times and nothing was done, my bro. And Grenfell was preventable. Yeah. We took a lot of flack for the stay put policy. Yeah. The stay put policy works if the buildings meet fire regulations. Grenfell didn't, and they knew about it for God knows how long.
Yeah.
But back to the incident. The levels of bravery that I witnessed that night, I was very proud to be a London firefighter. As chaotic as it was, as I was, because I saw we went above and outside of policy, and we had an option. We didn't have to. And the officer in charge at the time gave us a little briefing and said to us, look, we're outside of policy now. And I didn't see anybody waver. Anybody. I remember a firefighter coming out literally on his knees. And at that point, I just went into anything that needs doing is getting done. And a senior officer said that he needed some first aid. I just grabbed him, took him, and tried to cool him down. But literally, bro, like there was steam just evaporating from his skin. Yeah, as I'm trying to cool this firefighter down. Yeah, he was literally pyrolyzing, which is a firefighter term where
Yeah.
you're literally breaking down. You're so warm. Yeah, and that's what he looked like. He looked like he was breaking down in front of me. You know, life was. I was past a child, probably about 11, who I profiled, passed to a colleague of mine,
Yeah.
and when I was handed this child, I had an experience with my daughter when she was maybe about 8, 9. She stuck a bead in her ear, and we couldn't get it out, so she had to go to for a general anaesthetic so they can get to it. And I remember her being in my arms and the anesthetic going in, and then my daughter was just limp in my arms, and literally, that's exactly how I felt being held, and that's what I remembered. Yeah, and I remember waiting on the ward for my daughter. When they took her, I burst into tears. Went into the fire exit in the hospital, burst into tears because it felt like my daughter was dead. You know, I knew that she wasn't, but the way she just was like 1 minute skin was like that, and boom, she was gone. So I remember going back into the waiting room and sitting there, and I could see every parent waiting for their kid to come back and the anguish on their faces. But that's how I felt. And when I handed my colleague that little girl and he ran off with her, I don't know to this day if she made it or not. Yeah. But this is the last thing I want to touch on with this because I can feel myself breaking down a little bit.
Brother, I could, you kind of touched the nerve, man, because you know, because us fathers, when it comes down to our kids, envisioning that happen to our kids,
Yeah, nah. But
it
one
touches you, man.
the last thing that I want to touch on, bro,
Yeah.
and this is one of the things that I've struggled with the most is during my therapy sessions and EMDR and CBT and stuff like that. During later on during the incident, I was in the BA holding area, waiting to go in, and the incidents were probably I'm there. This is we're sunlight now. I must have got there about 1 o'clock. We must be pushing 5, and it's summer, so the sun's coming up early. And there's a kid of Arabic descent, yeah, maybe 14 or 15, 14th, 15th floor maybe,
Yeah.
and I'm seeing him bare chested. I can see him now, just as clear as day,
Yeah.
and he's waving his shirt, and I'm sitting there thinking, bro, like I'll do anything to come up there and get you, bro, but I can't. I want to be Superman so I can just come and grab. And he's looking down at us, and we're taking a getting some rest because we know what we're gonna have to go back in there and do. And I'm thinking, this guy must be thinking, why are you guys just sitting there? Why can't you see me? Like, I can't get to you, bro. I can't get up there. You know, and I don't know if he got out. Um, I have I went to 2 funerals. Jessica Ramirez and Bernard. And Jessica's funeral has got to be one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life because it was just kids mourning their friend. Now, that would have happened at every funeral, I'm sure, but that was the one that I went to. And I stood as a guard of honor with my firefighter brothers. Yeah. And I remember my mum's dying at this time, bro. Yeah. And I'm doing everything I can to save her. And I literally held it together throughout the procession and the funeral. And there's a picture that was taken afterwards, and I'm not in it. It's because I'm around the corner crying my fucking eyes out, bro. Yeah. And then Bernard, he was the last funeral to happen from Grenfell, and I did the same thing for him. And Bernard was on the 21st or 20th, the highest floor. Now, Jessica, my friend, or former, it's a long story, I'm not getting into that, but The same guy, Dave, he knew her family. And what he did trying to save her was got to be one of the most heroic things I've ever heard of. But when he told me about it on the day, on that night, what he did, I was so mad at him because he was so lucky to get out. And he had just had his little girl.
Oh
His
no.
daughter was just born. I said, Dave, what about summer, bro? You can't. But I was so happy that he survived. But literally, he went up to the 14th floor without BA on his own. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as the lift opened, just flooded with smoke. So luckily, he knew the outlay, got to the fire escape, and just had to chip down the stairs because he's got no breathing apparatus. Yeah. He could collapsed and died. But unfortunately, when he got down, he grabbed his BA set, went straight back up, and she wasn't in the apartment. But unfortunately, Jessica had left, tried to get down, couldn't get down, and went up. Got as far as Bernard's house. And in
Like a
Bernard's
death trap,
house,
bro.
yeah, it was literally that. But in Bernard's house, he had about, can't remember how many people were found around his bed. Most of them were on the bed. Jessica, other kids or whatnot were on his bed, and Bernard was sitting on the floor. But Bernard was a religious man, and we know he would have comforted those people. But could you imagine, bro, sitting on top of that, waiting to die? You know, it's fucked up, bro. And as you can see, the trauma still sits with me today, you know? And the worst thing is now I've got to fight my employer, who I've given 23 years to serve in London. And I'm under attack from the people that should be protecting me because I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth about the culture of the London Fire Brigade, the lack of support. And honestly, bro, I never thought they would do me like this. For the service, the way I have promoted, and who I am, or who I was in the London Fire Service, I never thought I would be treated. But you know what it is that's got me the most, bro? It's the people that have turned on me to save themselves. Yeah? These are lifelong friends, people that I've known for over 20 years, partied with. Two of them are godparents to my children, bro.
That's difficult. That is difficult, bro.
Two of them godparents to my children. I ain't naming anybody right now. Yeah? But they know who they are. All right? And the lack of support, I would never let anybody have treated you like this, bro. And that's my issue. I can't roll with people that do stuff to me that I would never do to them. Yeah? There's a lot of people in the fire service right now that are not speaking up for me, who know me, who know what I've done for them. Yeah? Who know my character. Yeah? But they'll rather watch and see me burn than step into the firing line. You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother topic, another conversation, and I can't really
No, that's fine, bro.
step into
Yeah,
that
no,
right
no,
now
that's
because of the
I
situation that
understand.
I'm in with the London Fire Commissioner. But
That's
I'm not gonna call him out. I thought like I was going to just then, but you know what? I have to tread very carefully with what I say. But yeah, every year post Grenfell, I've stood for the community on a guard of honour in Ladbroke Grove. Yeah, and stood in silence as the walk has gone past, and the level of appreciation and respect I get from the Grenfell community every time, it resonates so much, and I feel so much guilt because I'm like, I couldn't save your people, man. And like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a 72,
yeah, I can see it.
right? And it's right under my mum's hands. And that piece of artwork there is my healing, because I couldn't do that for about 5 years after losing my mum. But that is how much of an effect and how much I carry those 72 with me on my left arm, sorry, closest to my heart, just beneath my mother's hands. Yeah. And I don't think that I could have paid any bigger tribute to the 72 and the Grenfell community than that, you know? So on that, bro, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to
No,
jump
that's
off this
fine.
topic
Yeah.
because I don't
No,
think
no,
I can continue talking about this and
no, bro.
this to
Absolutely.
continue.
That's fine, bro. So from there onwards, the Adrian that I met was 5 years ago. You've very good health. What? From then, now 5 years later, I'm speaking to you now, bro. So I've not seen you for about 5 years. What's life been like in terms of just navigating things, man? Like,
Near
you're,
on,
yeah, go on, bro. Go on, sorry.
near on, near on catastrophic, bro. Like I've been hanging on by a thread.
Yeah,
I've had to seriously pull myself out of the depths of hell
yeah,
in my mind, physically, and the betrayal, bro. The people that were supposed to protect me
yeah.
and stand by me and support me are the people throwing fuel onto the fire. And that's what I can't tolerate, bro, because I've been kicked when I've been down, when I've been at my weakest.
Yeah.
But guys, 1 second, bro.
No, that's fine, bro. That's a,
Is glory to the Most High,
yeah,
you know, because, and my mother, because she promised me that she would never leave me and she hasn't, because it's her guiding and lighting my path now, you know? And I come across a saying a few years back, it was on the train. And it was kind of like, you know, when you got the E squared and like kind of like with the Breaking Bad kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was like, but there was like a wizard there. And it said like, when you can see the signs, everything becomes clear. And when I came out of my depression and elevated and became more spiritual and spiritually more connected with my mother, I see the signs around her. She actually even talks to me sometimes. She came to me in a dream the other day when I had one of the worst days I've had in a long time. And I was about to crash out. And my mum doesn't really come and visit me in dreams anymore because as soon as I see her, I become conscious and I grab at her because I know that I've seen her and I wake up crying. But the other night she came and it was no coincidence that she came because I was in a bad place, you know? So my spirituality and my relationship with the Most High and my relationship still with my mum is the strength that keeps me going, bro. But over the last 5 years, since you left, I was recovering. But for the last 4 years, I've been off sick with a severe untreated PTSD, and the behavior of my employer has been, I've had to fight them to be paid for treatment, for anything. And I will say this now on record, firefighter to look after your mental health, because when it starts to suffer, the resources that you require to aid you, help you, and get you back to a healthy place, they do not have. And this is why I want to be such a strong advocate for mental health, recovery, and understanding for firefighters, because the trauma that we see day in, day out is not normal. Yeah? We're not supposed to be exposed to that level of trauma without the care, without the healing. Yeah? They expect you to just see what you see, get a little phone call, which sometimes doesn't even come. And then they expect you to go back and do the same thing over and over again. That's why a lot of firefighters self-medicate. Yeah, we've got a big problem.
Bro, can I ask you something about that? That's quite profound. What I want to ask you is, you know, when you do something over and over again, can you not get numb to it, or does it have an opposite effect? It's like the more
you can get numb to it, but the problem is, you don't. You're blocking it now. Yeah, you can't unsee what you see, but what we do,
Yeah.
We get used to my mentor, Gordy. When I first joined acting, he was my mentor. Retired now, my guy. Big up, Gordy.
Yeah.
He said to me that, Adrian, after my first fatality, when I was acting in 2003, crazy accident. Some youths were joyriding in a car, and they must have lost control,
Yeah.
hit a curb. The car flipped, but where it bounced the curb, there was a guy, Donny, walking home from the pub. Licked him. Car rolled, hit the wall, so it's sideways, and all doors open, and this guy's like literally 5 yards up the road. This guy trying to work out what the hell happened. But that's what happened. Yeah. And I was like, when we got back to station, the mess where we eat, that's where we sort of decompress. Yeah. And firefighters, we've got a very dark sense of humor because we use humor to process what we've seen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And it's no disrespect to what's happened, but it's a coping mechanism. If you don't have that, yeah, you ain't gonna survive very long, you know? So what he said to me was this. He said, Adrian, he said, think of your fire suit as your shield. Yeah. Cause I was thinking now, yeah, that's deep. Like, how can you just be walking home and that happened to you? And then does he have kids? Da-da-da-da-da. He said, Adrian, you can't think like that. Yeah. Because you've got to be impervious to it. And that is a protection mechanism. But if you are a deep empath like I am, yeah, that doesn't happen because I feel everything. Yeah. That's why I can do the things that I do, because I feel energy. Yeah. That's what I operate off of, energy, of feeling more than anything else. So I can know if something's wrong with someone by just being around them, you know? And people always open up to me, but it's a gift and a curse. It can be because people find me so comfortable to speak to that they offload on you. And you have to learn how to manage that. But going back to the fire suit, he said to me, Adrian, you have to be impervious. That has to be your shield. And that works for a time. Yeah. But let me tell you, Maps, every serious incident that I've been to, yeah, I can recall in order as well. What happened next? What happened? If it's serious, I remember it. The smells, what I did. Da-da-da-da. So that's trauma. But what you have to learn to do is process that trauma, right? You have to reframe it, because if you don't, it sits waiting in your long-term memory. Now, I always use this when I'm coaching. The kids' movie Inside Out has got to be one of the most important and easy to understand media or information about how the mind and the brain work, how everything links together, because it links emotion, it links storage, yeah, long-term, short-term storage, yeah. You need to reframe. You need to go back and look at it, because the problem is you can be re-traumatized very easily. Now, I've been a London cabbie since 2011. Yeah. Whilst working and stuff, if I ever got anywhere near Grenfell, as soon I'll be like going over the Westway, and I won't be thinking about anything. And then something got bang, I will chip right by here. And the feelings, boom. And the feelings that I felt that night all come rushing back. Yeah. And that is unprocessed trauma. And this is what the London Fire Brigade are so ignorant to. Yeah. Because we are in a mental health crisis. The amount of people that have reached out to me personally since my resignation and prior is crazy. Now, I'm going to be doing a workshop, a selected workshop, because there's a lot of people in the fire brigade that I can't trust anymore, but there's a lot that I can. And my intention is to show these people through my story and my healing and my knowledge now, yeah, and my, should I say expertise? Yeah, I will say expertise, yeah, how to protect themselves and how to show others how to do so as well, because the help is not coming from the fire service, and it needs to come from them within, you know. So yeah, I don't know.
We need this, bro. We need this, and on top of all of those things that you've encountered, and it's now fizzled into your personal relationships with your kids now, bro.
They've been
How
massive,
you
yes.
how you managing all of these things, bro?
Bottom line is,
That's
bro, it's hard, and everything that I've just mentioned I previously mentioned that I'm estranged from my daughter.
Yeah.
I've been going through this since 2017,
Yeah.
nearly 10 years in a minute, right? Course that filters through to my home life.
Of
Yeah.
course.
It's had a
Yeah.
very detrimental effect on my relationships with my children, especially
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
since 2014 and then 2016, my son now lives with me full time. I'm fully
Yeah.
responsible for my son again. From 14 to 18, that was my daughter. Yeah. So I still had to raise my babies while
Dealing with
struggling
all
to
of these.
sleep,
Yeah.
untreated PTSD, being constantly harassed by my employer. My employer has their solicitors have turned around and said that they don't believe that I have PTSD now. Everything that I've been through. Yeah. And that hurts because the struggles, so many people post Grenfell have left the job. Yeah. My brethren, my bona fide. Thank God for Leon Whitley, because I think if Leon wasn't here, I don't think I would be, to be quite honest. So I can't stress how important my brother Leon is to me, because we both support each other. But like, he's my spiritual guru. He's always he just knows. He checks in. He just knows when something's wrong.
It's
And
important.
without Leon, bro, without Leon, he's only one of the only people that have stood up for me throughout. Whether it be coming to meetings as my support person, he does not play with me. And he is one of the realest Donnies in the London Fire Brigade. And I love you, my brother, and I salute you. Thank you so much, because not only has he been a support to me, but to my children. He has an outstanding relationship with my son and supported me with my daughter as well. So, Mr. Whitley, my brother, love you, bro.
Bro, there was something I want to ask you. During these challenging times, where was Pups? Was he around? Like what? Yeah.
My dad was there. But my dad is
Did he even know what was going on? Like
not.
the
He
things that
did.
you.
He knew I wasn't right. Like, the
Yeah.
same way you can look at your kid and know something's wrong.
Yeah.
But my dad, when it comes to the emotional side, yeah, he's there in presence, but he doesn't know what to say. That was my mum's role. I needed my mother. But my dad used to come and check on me in station. Yeah, he just pull up. He supported me the best way that he could,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I understand.
he just didn't know what to do, because it's not, that's, my dad is very much so,
That's not only
pull
skill
yourself up.
set.
It's,
Yeah.
and pull
Yeah.
yourself up. My dad's a soldier. He would just
Yeah.
soldier through it. My dad's not a big talker, you know?
Yeah.
So losing my mother at that time, that's what I needed. I needed her. And the one person that I needed was gone. So you can imagine how that was. But I was supported, but I was broken, bro. I was
Well,
broken for a long time.
do you know when your kids saw you like that, did they support you, or was it like you just didn't want them in
I
that?
tried to
Yeah.
I tried to keep as much as I could from them, as any parent would, because we don't want to
Yeah. Yeah.
burden
Yeah.
our children. I was
Absolutely.
very I have a very I won't speak about it, I refuse. I have a very good relationship, despite what's going on now with my daughter. And she picked me up off the floor more
She
times than I
picked
can.
you up off the floor. Wow.
When I've broken down,
Yeah.
crying, and some nights I'd come home from the cab and I'd be crying downstairs and trying to keep the noise down. And a couple of times she heard me just come and pick
Wow.
me up off the floor, you know? So, Mons, I know we're not in the best place at the moment. And I miss you.
What about your son, bro?
My son's a G.
Yeah.
Both my kids are amazing, but my son, uh, my mum's funeral, never left my side the whole day. I remember thanking my boys who stood as a guard of honor for my mum.
Yeah.
And I've got pictures of my son just standing behind me. And he never left my side. So my children are my everything, bro. And without them, I wouldn't be here. But Jaden, that boy is so special. Outstanding athlete, beautiful soul,
Like his
and
dad.
got my back 110%. Yeah. 100. And this is why I go so hard for my son. And my son has been under attack from the time he was 10.
How
From the
old is he
time
now, bro? He's
he's 16 now. But from
16.
the
Okay.
time he joined a club in basketball called London Elite, and people realized how good my son was. And he wasn't just he was under attack from other parents, bro. Yeah. And then me standing in line to protect him, they turned on me. And this has happened again recently from someone that I helped get their child onto the same platform network as my boy out in America. And that person then turned around and snaked my son. Yeah. And this is the level of betrayal. I've been betrayed by it. You know me, bro. I'll do anything for anybody if I don't expect nothing back. Because what I push out comes back to me through the energy from the butterfly effect. Yeah. Because I push positivity. That's what I do. But bro, there are so many hateful, deceitful, toxic people out here, bro. And every time it happens, it kills me, bro. But my boy, I love my son more than life itself and my daughter. But I love them very differently. My son, my daughter is my baby, she's my princess. Yeah. And despite what's gone over in the last couple of years, no one can't tell me nothing about the father I've been to my child. Yeah. My son is my warrior. From the time Jaden could speak, I would say to JJ, what is your profession? And he'd go, how? Yeah, my little spy. Yeah. He's destined for greatness, that boy, because he just wants to be his dad. Yeah. And the way I parented him, he'd always tell you about Mario Kart. Brother, we was playing Mario Kart from times 3, 4. But did I get him win? I didn't get him win. Oh, no, brother, you have to earn your wins out here. But by the time he was 6, bruv, he was kicking my ass. Yeah. Now, Jaden is an outstanding athlete. Yeah. And he often wants to say, yeah, Dad, I was better than you at your age. You was not as good as I. And bro, you know me from the back in the day. You know what kind of baller I was, right? And I'll say this online and only once, young man. Yeah. I was a bad boy at your age. I couldn't talk to you, bruv. But the difference is you had me, yeah, raise you. And the way I trained and raised my son was for greatness, both of my kids, but you trained them differently. Yeah. The love that I have for my daughter is a different kind of love I have for my son. Yeah. But JT, bro, what you're doing out in America at the moment is costing you the scholarship and whatnot, but I still got to help out with, you know what I mean? But I got a lot of support from the family, which is good.
It's the sacrifice,
But
bro.
it is. And I have sacrificed everything for his journey, you know? And I pray that he fulfills his ambition. But the key thing for both of my children is I just want to see them happy, bro, you know? And as
Bro,
long as
hold
they're,
that there, hold that there. That is profound. You want to see them happy, but how is dad turning up? How is dad showing up?
what,
Cause,
it's in
'cause-
himself or
no,
how do you mean?
you. Sorry, bro. As in, when I'm saying how is dad showing up, I'm referring to you, because you want to see your kids happy, but they need to see you
Yeah,
on par. Like,
I'm working on that, bro. I'm working on that. And the I've learned I've cut away. I was too available, bro. I had a lot of bloodsuckers, social
Yeah,
vampires, and
yeah,
bad-minded people that had no good intentions for me. Yeah, they want to use tops. They want to suck my energy because they
yeah,
know
yeah,
it's all positive. But when it comes to filling up my cup, they ain't got nothing for me. So now, basically, bro, if you ain't bringing nothing to the table, you ain't sitting at the table, blood. Because what people have done to me who were very close to me at one point, yeah, is disgusting. Yeah. And now they're hiding in the shadows. I had people, one guy in particular, yeah, out here telling people that I've gone mad, yeah, just to protect himself. And he is the worst kind of person, a narc, a dirty narcissist, yeah. And I can't stand narcissists because they're the worst kind of people because they will do anything to you to save themselves. But broski, time's up, rude boy, because true season's coming. Now, what I've had to do, bro, is realize who was around me. And I have now, and I've cut them away. But since I've cut them away, you know what that does? It leaves space for the real people to come back in your life. And the networks I have now, my brethren Rasiah Armstrong, yeah, firefighter, real Donny, the strongest man. You think I'm a strong dude, yeah? Nah, I can't talk to my boy. And he's going through exactly the same thing with our employer. Same level of service, and they're dealing with him in the same way. That is my code D right there. Him, Leon, my brethren, Guy Everton. I've known Guy. You probably remember Guy from school. You know Guy, ginger hair?
I probably know him when I see him, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you
yeah,
won't because
yeah.
you won't because you're bald like me now.
Oh,
But
serious.
my brethren,
Times change.
my brethren, Guysy, right? We've been friends since we were 8. We kicked ball together till we was 18, and we shouldn't be friends in the context of the situation in London in the 80s and 90s because he's a white lad with ginger hair, comes from a typical English family, yeah, proper Chelsea family, big up the Evertons. But they were on the other side of the tracks per se, yeah. But his family was always cool with me, and Guy was my brethren from we were kids, and we always had each other's backs, yeah. And I got a lot of heat from the black boys and my community say, "I keep brethren with Guy." Not to me. Me, it's cool. Yeah. We've always had each other's backs. And we are all victims of our environment, you know? There was elements of things that I didn't like and in my household, but that was because of the way we were treated when we come here. You know what I mean? But I don't discriminate against anybody. Yeah. I see people as people, but Guy coming back into my life, we was estranged for a few years. Just not estranged, but we was on different paths. And to have him back around me, bruv, that's my soldier, bro. Like, I come across a post a little while back, and it says that you got friends, but you need your 3 a.m. friends. Yeah. And the 3 a.m. friends are the people that you can call at 3 a.m. and they're going to pick up the phone. And if it's code red, they're on the way. And I've got 4 or 5 of them now. Yeah. Several others. I'm not going to mention everybody. I can't. But my circle's so much smaller and I'm a lot more peaceful because my circle of trust is my circle of trust. Now, a lot of people are saying that I've changed. Yeah, I have. You're supposed to. It's called growth. It's called growth, mate. Yeah? I've grown through. I've been through the fire. And guess what? It didn't take me out. It refined me. And now the version that you see now, this is the real tops because I'm unapologetic now. Yeah? I stand 10 toes down now. I don't hold back no talk. Yeah. If you violate me, I'm gonna tell you about it. Yeah. I don't hold back. You're not gonna come and play in my face and expect me to keep my P's and Q's. I challenge you now. Microaggressions, bro. I'm a 6'2" athletic, muscular black man. I'm reminded of that every day that I'm in the Western world. Yeah. It makes me sick. The level of what's the word I'm looking for? Discrimination I get. Yeah. And the gaslighting. I posted a video not long ago. I went in to get a pedicure. And the way that I was treated.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah.
I saw that one. Yeah,
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 brother.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
I see
like,
that one, bro. Yeah.
bro, I was like, no. I left and I went, no. I code switched because I went in, I just come out the gym. I think I had my puffer jacket on, my giggies. Bro, I never looked road. I'm a 47-year-old flipping man, but I was dressed casual. So I got home and it bothered me. I was like, no, I'm not having it. Code switched, put on a polo, went back and parked my whip outside. My AMG's outside now. I went back in there and
I see
filmed
that.
them. Yeah. My brethren did a course in West London College about that. Yeah. Because listen, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore, bro. Yeah. I can't stand the fact that people judge me before they even. And bro, once I disarm you, you want to be my best friend. How does that work? You know? So, bro, like, there has been so much going on, but I tell you what, I give thanks and praises to the Most High for the lessons and the blessings, because what that does, yeah, it makes me a better version of me. Now, what the Most High has been doing is preparing me for what I need to do, because the situation in the fire service at the moment is abysmal, and the people governing over it, yeah, I know extremely well. And the way that you are trying to frame me, I done told you already, yeah, my community are not going to have this at all, yeah, at all, because everybody knows in London who I am, yeah. I'm a firefighter. I'm a community man. I'm outside, yeah, outside.
Bro, can I just stop you? You ain't no firefighter. You ain't no community person. You ain't, bro. You're a fighter, because from grassroots, even way before all these roles. What is fascinating is I've just sat here with you just over an hour, with just you've walked me through your journey. There's been highs and lows. I've seen your emotional state change from a place of vulnerability. Now it's like fight talk. How did you condition yourself to, like, bro? You're not blaming, you're not shaming, you're speaking out, because there's a big difference between blame and shaming people, but you've chosen not to be a victim.
I'm not.
You've
I never,
chosen
never,
to carry on,
never,
bro.
never a victim, bro. Never. I am someone that can get licked down, but will get up every time and say, "Let's go again." Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Everybody knows, yeah, that I'm a warrior, bro.
of
From the
course.
day from playing football, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I learned my craft. But I want to jump back onto the football team, because you was talking about finding something that is for you. Football saved my life, bro. And I tell you who did it. Shebu FC, yeah, Mandem FC, right? Throughout my whole career, I'd never played in a predominantly black side. We had a couple in non-league, Hayes and Yedin at one point, Fuller Heads, Dulwich Hamlet. I wasn't ready for the first team at that time, but we was in the reserves, Fuller Heads, and I always wanted to do that. You know what I mean? To play with my guys, because most times I've played in several teams where I'm the only black guy in the team. But what that's done, I understand the culture. Yeah, I've had many of boys come up to me and like, "Tops, you're being funny though. Why are you all right, bro? Why are I'm like, bro, how many other black guys do you know, bro? You don't sit down and talk to them. And not all black brothers are as patient and understanding as me, because a lot of people's ideologies or thoughts come out of fear. And what I like to do, I like to break people down and show them how silly they're being, yeah? Because I have the faculties to do so. And I think it's my responsibility to do so, right? But basically, going to my brethren, Blue, one of my day ones, yeah? He's about to do big bits in the music world at the moment. He's coming back. It's his time now, yeah? Keep an eye out for Blue, right?
Blue. Okay.
But he pulled me into the Shebu setup, which is Shepherd's Bush FC, and basically the tourists call it, or the new Because like where London's being gentrified, so they're calling things, oh, we're getting off to Shabu, no Shepherd's Bush, but we're taking. But anyway, being back around my brothers, Bruno, Darlo, DJ, I brought in my brethren Guy, Chunk, Farouk, big up Farouk, but just being back around the man then, yeah, at a time where I was broken, yeah, saved my life, bro, because I remembered who I am and what my love was, and being back on the football pitch. I was a vet at the time, so I'm playing like, it's about 4 or 5 years ago, so I'm 42. But I remember one game we played, and it was maybe the second or third anniversary of my mum's passing. And my brethren Blue had a very organised a minute's silence for my mum before the game. And that to be one of the most poignant things I've ever done in my life, because it was there that I knew I was going to be all right. And I would never be able to repay Blue for his support, his love, and his understanding of what I've been through. And his dad passed a couple of years ago, and I was able to support him in a similar fashion. But the crazy thing, it wasn't until his dad passed that I found out that him and my dad were brethren. They knew each other. So me and Blue linked up in 95, and the energy was at college was instantaneous, and neither of us knew why. But that relationship was already written. But one other time in football, before I started playing with Shabu, I went to play for Defiance out in Kent. Some of my boys out that way from non-league have a team, and we was playing against Jimmy Bugard's side, and there was like our local rivals, and I wasn't playing at the time. I think this must have been the same year my mum passed, or the year afterwards, before I started back at Shabu. And Evo, my brethren James said to me to come out and play, and it was like a semi-final, and I think I was playing at right back that day, and I think it was the anniversary, or it just passed. And I said to myself on the way there, I said, "This, I'm winning this game for my mum." It was a cup final, actually. I got the trophy. And we were the underdogs. And bro, nothing. You shall not pass. I was playing at right back, and that was a piece of piss for me anyway. I love playing right back because I'm quick and I can read the game. So I can kind of dictate the game from there. But I was everywhere, bro. Everywhere. And winning that, again, it just showed the strength that I have, but my relationship with my sport. I've been a footballer my entire life, and going back into coaching now, I can't wait, because I need to do what it is that makes me who I am, and football
Hold that,
is
hold
my
that, hold
life.
that, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that. That is profound, bro. You know, whilst you've been telling me that, I've been taking notes literally, because I want to bring something to your attention. This is crazy. I asked you a question before, bro. Yeah, you was telling me, look, Mabs, I'm a firefighter. I'm a community person, spokesperson. Guess what has stood out for me? And I'm trying to connect your journey, the puzzles, the pieces together. And bro, check this. I'll ask you this question. If I were to, if you were to remove Adrian from all of his support system, his things that he enjoys doing, what is he left with? That's a question to you, bro.
What
What
if
you left with?
if I took everything away?
Yeah, if you took
I,
your support system, yeah, say that your friends, everyone who has helped you along this path of dealing with all of those types of challenges in your life, bro, put them aside. Now, we're left with Adrian, the core, because I'm trying to get to the core now. Now, watch this, bro, yeah? So now, you've told me that you like football. Strip that. What am I left with? What am I seeing?
what are you seeing?
Yeah,
A father.
right,
A father. Yeah,
right.
that's my definition. I mean, that is what I would sacrifice everything for. yeah, as my children. I would do anything for them. So first and foremost, my first job is a father. Yeah, for my children. Yeah, that is who I am first and foremost. If you stripped everything away,
Yeah.
yeah, that's who I am. I'm a father.
Hold that there. That is profound, bro. Check this, right? Guess who's standing to this day? Guess who is standing? Because sometimes it's like I'm trying to bring something to your attention in the background. He's been standing there since to this day, and it's in
My
your life.
my father.
Right, check this profound effect, right? Because it only clicked to me. The reason why that it clicked to me is because I had to listen to this journey that this amazing, profound journey. Bro, check this. You watched your father being a fighter from day one, fighting against oppression, fighting against injustice. That shapes your character for the man that you have become.
100.
And the thing is this, and the thing that you told me about when I asked you, bro, what was his support like when you was going through this time? You was like, bro, you know that he's not really emotionally connected in that. But guess what he's done through time? He's stood his ground. He's still showing up. No, maybe not in the way that you want, but
100.
those attributes, the core, the base core of being a fighter, not giving up. I'm still in the background. All sorts of things are kicking off. And check this, bro. I'm sure he's going through similar things. Like, you know what? There's a disconnection between my son. Maybe it's not the best, but I'm still here. You know, there's other situations. Just because he's not talking, it doesn't mean to say that he's not dealing with things, bro. So what's happened is like. What I found profound is your base is when you try to identify, yeah, I'm a firefighter, I'm doing, no, you're not. You're a fighter. That's what you want. That's what you got from your dad. He's a fighter. And that
Yeah,
has,
I would never take that
yeah,
away from that man. He
yeah,
is
yeah, bro.
listen, what he's
But,
been through, yeah, and what
yeah,
he's overcome. And I think that my relationship with my father is techie because I think that it was the support. And I wasn't going to touch on this because it's a bit sticky at the moment. But
yeah,
I needed him. When I needed him, he wasn't there. Yeah.
yeah,
And I needed someone to speak for me because the
yeah,
journey I was going through with football, I made some decisions in my youth that I had no business making. Yeah.
yeah,
And it was because of his absence that I made those wrong decisions because my kid,
yeah,
and I do think it's down to education because my dad's father wasn't really around my dad, so I can't be overly harsh on him because he wasn't shown in the same way that I've got issues with him, but he wasn't shown how to be a dad. But
yeah,
the difference between me and him is that, and I think to a degree he did that as well. He did that as well. But me, the reason I am the father that I am is because I give my children everything that I needed and didn't
yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
difference. But
Absolutely,
when it
absolutely.
comes to turning up, my dad, do you know the funny thing is, bro, is this. My dad was there and I was kind of picked on because I had a father, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
a lot of people didn't. And I didn't understand why I was being dealt with in a certain way or picked on in a
yeah,
certain way. But it's because I came from a stable home, you know?
yeah,
And my dad provided that home as much as I would have liked him to be more, because I don't have that tightness of a relationship with him because I don't really know him
yeah, yeah,
per
yeah.
se,
Of course.
you
Yeah,
know. And recently I've asked for, since my mum's passing, and there's some issues and I've asked for answers on and I haven't got them.
yeah,
So that's why I'm saying it's a bit sticky at the moment. But what you have just helped me to
yeah,
do is to process. And I have been. I'm not someone that's going to be pointing the finger. But when I come to you as a man and ask you questions as a man without my mum being here, and I know the answers to the questions, and I'm not judging anybody,
yeah,
but be truthful, innit? Don't just still think you don't have to answer me because
yeah,
Your decisions, just your sins of the father affect the child. And
Yeah.
I'm out here breaking generational
Cycles.
curses, bro, and cycles. I'm the
Yeah.
curse
Yeah.
breaker. Yeah, I'm gonna move our family forward because that shit ends with you lot. I'm not
Yeah.
taking that forward. That's not for me. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
putting a stop to that because it's unhealthy. You know, the lies, the secrets, truth, true time, true season, truth talk. Yeah, that's what I'm about now because I'm liberating myself from all that baggage. Yeah, I'm moving forward with my life now. Yeah,
Bro, hold that thought there because that's what I want to touch upon because there's going to be people watching this and they'll also be going through journeys that they're trying to navigate mental health themselves. And I'm talking to a fighter. I'm talking to you. I want to ask you. So, despite even the thing is this, bro. Look, the journey of mental health. It's gonna stick with us for the rest of our life. It's never. There's never a break. It's a constant struggle.
it's a
Yeah,
constant. It's a constant
it's a
battle.
constant. And what I want to ask you is, what are you doing day to day just to keep Adrian in check, just
Oh,
to help
so
you?
I was under a really big period of stress recently because I had
Yeah,
situations with my son in America that I just returned from sorting out. So the last 3 weeks to a month, I haven't been training, I haven't been meditating, and I've
yeah,
dropped off. Hence my post on Instagram the other day. But what I do now, I have a routine, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
I work on self care. So I get up,
Yep.
I say 5 things I'm grateful for every morning. Yeah, because gratitude is the key. If you can have gratitude throughout your worst period and still be thankful for what you have, yeah, anything you're going through, yeah, can be processed because you're still showing gratitude. You could well, but I'm still here, I'm still breathing, I've still
Yeah,
got my
yeah, yeah,
kidney.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
that's the
yeah,
key.
yeah,
Yeah, meditation is very important.
yeah,
Yeah, very important. The influences that you have, the people around you, the stuff that you eat, the stuff that you put into your mind. It's about positivity, yeah? Also, understanding, yeah? Sometimes you're going to have bad days. Sit with
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I'll
yeah.
take you back to the children's movie Inside Out. If you're ever struggling with your mentality, emotions, just flick that on because what it does, it helps you process, yeah? You see, trauma, anything you're going through needs to be processed. Your brain is like a computer. If your computer gets a virus, what do? You have to go in and sort it out. Yeah. You have to compartmentalize. Yeah. You have to deal with your baggage. And that comes from EMDR. And that's basically reframing it. Yeah.
So,
Grenfell.
but EMDR is what is that, bro?
Oh, I can't. It basically EMDR is
Yeah,
a mechanism where I can't remember what it stands for, but I'll look it up. Or before
yeah.
you do it, I'll send it to you. But basically, what it is, it's not like counseling. What you do, you go back and you look at a memory, yeah, and you work on your breathing, yeah, and you breathe through it. But what you do is reframe it. You've got to go there and look at it. Go in and see what you was doing. Like for example, the boy in the window,
Yeah,
yeah. I didn't start that fire. I couldn't get up to get to him, yeah. I could not do anything physical to go get him. Yeah. So I have to process that and forgive myself for that because I'm carrying guilt that's not meant for me. Yeah. There's nothing I could have done, but it still affects me because I still haven't processed it properly. But
wait,
talking
bro,
about,
sorry, bro, wait, sorry, bro. Something that just occurred to me about that kind of training. When you said about breathing, you know what? Straight away, that I thought, this is a way of also regulating the emotional connection because the thought is tied to the emotion. So it's like
and the
when you think about it,
feeling and your
the feeling, yeah,
body, once you thought it can't, your body can't differentiate from you being there or not. Once that's why a certain smell, something that can trigger you because you haven't processed the trauma. Now I call it cleaning the laundry, right?
okay,
Think about it. When you go on holiday, right? You have a suitcase, you go and have some nice time. Something happened, right? Come back, you've got all your baggage in the suitcase now, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
When you bring it home, everybody's like, oh my God, I've got to sort that out. You can leave it sometimes, but that needs to be First, acknowledge that it's there and it needs to be dealt with. It's not going anywhere. Oh, you ain't got no clothes. Yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
You have to open your suitcase, unpack it, sort it, wash it,
yeah,
dry it, fold it,
yeah,
put it away in the closet. But then when you go, once you've done all that, it hasn't got the smell from the holiday anymore. It's not in the suitcase. So
yeah,
the emotion is still there, right? But it's clean. It's something you can go and revisit in the drawer,
yeah,
look at it, suck it away back in the suitcase. And the same thing
yeah,
happens in your mind. Yeah. Trauma is not going anywhere. But what you have to do is lessen the effect. It can't shut you down. Or when you push it to one side, like you do the suitcase, it's still there. You look, oh shit, it's still there. But
yeah,
once you've processed it, oh, it's in the, oh yes, you open the drawer, you see it. Oh yeah, I remember that happened. But you know what? Ah yeah, well, and boom. So that's one of the mechanisms that I teach is how to clean your laundry. Yeah, and that is a method that that's basically EMDR. Yeah,
ah,
there's CBT, something I can't remember the names of them for some reason,
yeah,
but I'm gonna put them. People know what they are anyway. But
yeah,
we're gonna
yeah,
make sure you put that on there for people.
yeah,
But speaking therapy
yeah,
doesn't really work for trauma because counseling is more for relationships and stuff like that and processing, like not the trauma, not what you've suffered from it. Yeah, counseling is just talking and just getting things out in the open.
yeah,
Once you're dealing with deep trauma, yeah, you have to go deeper in because it's in your long-term storage. And
yeah,
every time you think about it, you become anxious. And if you touch
yeah.
on it, right? If you touch
It's
on it,
triggers,
it's
triggers them.
triggers.
Yeah,
So what happens is now you think you've only got a certain amount of storage in your long-term storage. And these things are big. And your brain's like, listen, we need to get this out of here. Yeah? We need to get this out. But because it's so terrifying, people don't go back to it. And then what happens is, yeah, that creates stress in the body. That creates feelings and emotion and thoughts.
yeah,
Then your thoughts become emotions. Then emotions, what are emotions? Then your body has more cortisol than it should in it. Yeah. So eventually it's like a pressure cooker. So then your kid might trip up or do something silly or spill a glass. But that's nothing to do with what's actually happened. It's got everything to do with what you haven't processed. Do you understand? And that is what trauma and re-traumatization is. And this is where this is PTSD. That's what the post-traumatic stress disorder. That is what PTSD is. And I have diagnosed
yeah.
severe, untreated PTSD. So basically, man, I've had to learn how to heal myself through education,
That's crazy.
through
That is crazy,
speak.
bro. Do you know why that is crazy? That I find because it requires you to come out of your what you're feeling inside, what you're going through, to be able to put systems in place, mechanisms, strategies in place. Because you can easily get sucked in so deeply. And I'm not saying that you're immune, but the thing is, when you get sucked in, you feel it, and then you come back out. And then you start strategizing, and then you go back in again, and then it's a constant battle. But what's profound is that you're able to do that. That you're not like it's not over. It's work in progress.
Bro,
That's profound, bro. Yeah,
every day I've got to be better than I was yesterday. And you know what? You fall off some days, yeah.
that's
But
human, bro. That's
naturally,
human,
yeah,
man.
of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
But
yeah,
bro, let me tell you, the amount of people that I'm out here healing right now,
yeah,
and one in particular, my homegirl Kim, out in Florida at the moment, amazing soul, beautiful soul, and she's going through it at the minute. But she, let me tell you, when Kim testifies and heals, will be my greatest achievement when it comes to coaching yet, because the growth that she's made and the bravery that she's showing and the love and she's showed love and loyalty to me out in America and to my child. Yeah. And that's all that's required of me, bro. And this is why the I'll call them the pagans right now in the LFB. Yeah. They was devoid. That's all the requirement is to have me in your life is love and loyalty. Nothing else. Because I don't need nothing from anybody. I get
Yeah.
what I need from the Most High, brother. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's
And
the core.
the core is
The core. Yeah.
love and loyalty. And if you show me those, yeah, you will have the greatest support person in your life forever. But if you violate that, bro, I don't tolerate violation,
Yeah.
disrespect, yeah, and people who I've raised with, been through the trenches with, turn around and snake me for what? A promotion? Yeah? Nah, you're gonna burn. It's as simple as that because we were brothers, and my brethren, my big brother, is no longer with us anymore. And Brownie was one of the greatest, strongest men that I knew. Yeah. He was a very strong dude. And listen, Brownie had issues going in and on in his personal life, yeah, that people want to kind of throw shade at and document. But I will put this out here now to the London Fire Brigade, yeah? Any fire brigade. Don't anyone talk about my man's personal life because the stuff that I know about the culture of the fire service, yeah, he who was out without sin, throw the first stone, brother, yeah? Because I know a lot of the senior officers in the London Fire Brigade, and I know your history as well. And I ain't talking it yet, but trust me, at some point I will. Because I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize the legal situation I find myself in. But your character and integrity, piss poor. And that is why your lies can never stand up to my truth. Yeah? Because that's what I'm talking, is the truth. And the truth can never be offensive.
Bro, I'm going to stop it